All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Kodash, and double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the Akim out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in truth and sincerity. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Kodash, Brakathum. We're the brothers from Great Millstone, Miami. I'm the brother lawyer from Great Millstone, Miami, and with me,
Brother Ash.
And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, we're just going to go into a small, quick point through the scriptures concerning the word Jeshurun. All right, yesterday we did a video concerning the mystery of the Gentiles, and we briefly mentioned the word Jeshurun. All right, and we didn't go into it as correctly as precisely as we ought to have. So basically, this video is going to be correcting that mistake and going further into the word Jeshurun, all right, and how it applies to the nation of Israel, okay, and just bringing out a few points concerning that word, and hopefully this is edifying and to the edification of the elect and gives praises and honors and the glories to Yahweh Shemel Shai B'Hashem Kodash. So to begin, we'll start here at Deuteronomy 32 and 15, which is where we originally brought out the word Jeshurun. All right, and we'll move on from there.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 15. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
Right, and the word we're focusing on here is the word Jeshurun, okay? And when you go into the Hebrew, okay, the word Jeshurun, in the blue letter, it means upright one. Salakia, okay. The word Jeshurun, okay, means upright one. All right, now in the video, we made a mistake and we broke it down as it meaning he prince. All right, but when you actually go into the blue letter, it means upright one. All right, and it comes from the root word yashar, okay, which means to be well pleasing. Okay. All right. To be well pleasing, to be right, to be pleasing, agreeable, to be right. All right. So that's what the word actually means. Okay. And this, like it says here, is a symbolic name for Israel, describing her ideal character. Okay. Because the ideal character of the nation of Israel is to be upright. Okay. To be righteous. Okay. But because of Israel's pride, okay, and them becoming spoiled as a nation, all right, becoming proud and spoiled, they waxed fat, they kicked, and they revolted against the Lord, okay, and they thought little of him, and they worshipped other gods, all right. So that uprightness, okay, faded away from Israel, okay. That righteousness faded away from Israel. Why? Because eventually, as a nation, we sinned against the Lord.
Now, Can I make a quick statement?
For sure.
I want to go to the Hebrew word for Israel. All right. Let me see. Where's Israel? I'm just going to the word.
There, children of Israel. Verse
okay,
50.
I'm gonna go to this the Hebrew word for Israel, which in the Hebrew is Yashar Allah. Okay? Yashar Allah. Now, when I said last night the Yashar and Yashawamba meant prince that was going off, all right? That's where the communication come in. I mean, the miscommunication came in. When you get the word Yasharwan or Yashawan, all right? The root word is Yashar, like the brother was going into, all right, which that is one word. Now, when you go to the word for Israel, okay, the word for Israel in the Hebrew, Yashar Allah, all right, the Yah and the Shar that Yashar Allah, that's a compound word, all right. It comes from the word Allah, which means power, and Shara, all right, which the word Shara
or Shar means prince.
Khan. Well, yeah, it says to contend, have power, contend with. You know, the apostles say, you know,
prince. Scroll down.
Prince.
Yeah, to have power as a prince.
Khan Thawada. So that's when I said the Yashar and Yashawan mean he prince, but the Yashar and Yashawan and the Yashar and Yasharallah is going into two different things. So just because the word Yashawan is a symbolic name for Israel, don't get confused with the Yashar and Yashawan and the Yashar and Yashar Allah.
Khan.
All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Khan. That's right. But yeah, moving forward, bring out some scriptures because that word Yasharon appears a few times in the scriptures. All right, about 3 times. All right, it appears in Deuteronomy 32, Deuteronomy 33 and 5. All right, where it talks about how Moses was king of Jeshurun. All right, and how he taught Israel the commandments of the Lord. Okay, he also Deuteronomy 32 and 26. How it talks about how the Most High is the God of Israel, Jeshurun, all right, who rideth upon the heavens and the chariots, okay, and also in Isaiah 44, okay, and verse 2, all right, Isaiah 44 and verse 1. I'll start from there. It says, "Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jeshurun, whom I have chosen." Okay, so the Most High chose Israel, okay, to be his chosen people, to be his elect, to be his servants, okay, and he was going to be their God and he was going to be their help. All right, now, again, the word Jeshurun is symbolic. They implied to Israel, or applied to Israel. Why? Okay, mind you, the word Jeshurun means upright one. All right, and that's the reason why that is because Israel's the Lord's people, okay? All right, Israel's the Lord's people, all right? He chose them and called them to be righteous, okay? And also he gave them the law, statutes, and commandments, which is what we're going to go into that as well. So, brother, if you don't mind reading Numbers 23 and 10 and expounding on it, please.
Numbers chapter 23 and verse 10. Who can count the dust of Jacob and the number of the fourth part of Israel? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his.
Right.
All right. So this is the words of Balaam. All right. Balaam was basically a witch, a warlock. All right, for the nation of Moab. All right, who was hired by Balak, the king of Moab, to put curses on Israel. All right, and basically the Most High hearken not to those curses. Okay, and basically Balaam was left to bless Israel, and he understood that Israel was righteous. Now, when you go into that word righteous is Yashar.
Yes.
All right, so that word for righteous here, all right, is Yashar. Okay, the righteous, which is first it started off with Jacob, and the fourth part of Israel. So that shows you right there that Yashar, or the righteous, are Israel.
God.
All right.
And Balaam understood it so much that he wished he could be an Israelite.
Yeah, he knew that his people was not righteous.
Yeah,
they was not the upright people.
Exactly. Okay, they were not the ones that were well pleasing unto the Lord. Okay. Also, why was Israel? Another reason why Israel was counted righteous. Why? Because the Lord gave him his commandments, his laws. Okay. This is Exodus chapter 15. Verse 26, and said, "If thou wilt diligently hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee." Okay, so this is the Lord speaking to Israel. All right, and he told them if they would do that which is right in his sight, to keep his commandments and his statutes, all right, he would heal them of their diseases. And what's the word for right? Okay, it's Yashar. So the commandments are right. The commandments are upright. That's what made us upright as a nation. Okay, by the Lord separated us from the heathens and coming into covenant with us. That's why the scriptures say, "Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice." Okay, so that's what made Israel upright. As a contrast to the other nations. The other nations are upright. Okay, right. Because they was into all kind of folly and idolatry. Okay, and all kind of weird rituals and I mean, we could just sit and talk all day. A lot of that stuff you don't even want to talk about.
Yeah, because it's not straight.
Yeah.
It's not you go to that word Yashar. It says to be straight, straightforward, straight to the point, smooth, plain. Scripture tell you Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And also, I would like, before you go from this precept, I want to mention how it says, "For I am the Lord that healeth all thy diseases." All right,
Rapah.
right. So that goes to show you why Balaam wasn't able to put curses on our people, because we were upright, and when we're upright, the Most High is going to heal our diseases. So there's no divination against Yahweh.
And the laws, a lot of the laws go into sanitation.
Right.
They go into the dietary laws, being clean. All right. Purity. All right. So that's good for health.
Right.
Okay. How to deal sexually, not to commit adultery, not to be a homosexual. Okay. Not to be into bestiality and incest. All right. That prevents disease.
Yeah. If that law was kept, there would be no STDs in the nation of Israel.
Right. Okay. So, but the Egyptians were not so. All right, along with the rest of these heathens. That's why they had all kind of freaking diseases, man. Okay, but our lifespan was much longer. Why? Because we kept the laws, man. Okay, and the laws helped us be healthy, essentially. Okay,
so wisdom in the side of the nation.
That's right. Moving on, Ecclesiastes 7:29. All right, it says, "Lo, this have I found, that God made man upright, but they sought out many inventions." Okay.
Right. And we know that's not talking about all men, because the word for we went into it already, that Balaam said that the Israelites are the only righteous.
Yeah.
And he would like to come back as righteous. So we know when it says made man upright, it's not talking about just any man. It's talking about the nation of Israel.
Right. And that word there for inventions is again, for upright is again Yashar. Okay, going into what? Jeshurun.
Right.
Okay, so man upright is talking about the Israelites. All right, but they have sought out many inventions. Okay.
Right.
So the other heathens, they was already into madness. So the man that was made upright is talking about the Israelite man. Okay, because they were the Most High's chosen people, and He gave them law, statutes, commandments, but they sought out the inventions of the heathens.
Right. It tells you read about that in the Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. It tells you that the so-called white man, his spirit is not upright in him. All right, so that's an example right there.
That's an example, okay. And why did that happen? Why did we seek out many inventions? Okay, well, because going back to the word Jeshurun in Deuteronomy 32. Okay. Deuteronomy 32:15. Okay. Why did Israel seek out many inventions? Why? Because but Jeshurun waxed fat. Okay, the Most High was taking care of us. He gave us butter of kine, milk of sheep. We had livestock. We had riches. Okay, we had resources. We were well off. We were wealthy. All right, so we were good. All right, and then we kicked. All right, which means we revolted against the Lord. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods and abominations, and with abominations they provoked him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not unto the Most High, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up.
Right.
Okay,
it's an invention.
That's an invention, whom your fathers feared not. Okay, so that's how they sought out many inventions.
Might as well, since we in the spirit of going into Hebrew, might as well go into the Hebrew word for newly up.
Newly up. Okay, let's go into newly up. Newly. Qarawab. Okay, near, of place, of time, of personal relationship, kinship, near, allied hand, kinfolk, that is near of kin, neighbor, that is next to, nigh, more ready, shortly. Okay. Let's see if it goes into it even further. Doesn't really go into it.
Came newly up.
Let's see.
Basically, strange.
Strange.
Because it says kinship.
Neighbor.
Or neighbor. That those guys was not our neighbors. That's their stuff.
Those were their gods.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't really go into it in the blue letter as far as that word.
I just wanted to see how it relate to the Hebrew word for inventions.
Khan. Well, we'll go into the word new. Kadash. It says new thing, fresh. Okay. New thing, fresh. All right. All right. So these were new. These were new gods that came newly up. So who was creating these new gods that came newly up?
Right.
They was going after the ways of the heathen, man.
They was not being upright.
They wasn't being upright, man. Okay. And the final precept will close the point, if you don't mind reading, brother.
Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth him. All right, so the righteous, Yeshurun, all right, Yasha'Allah, the nation of Israel is more excellent than his neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
But the way of the wicked seduce him, the way of these heathens. All right, and that's how our people went from being in a state of being upright, in a state of being pleasing and smooth and agreeable with the Heavenly Father,
Mm-hmm.
which is the way a Jake's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Which
was what they were created to be.
Right.
That's why the Most High gave them that name in the first place.
They went off and started following the heathens.
Exactly. Okay. And that's how they became Gentiles.
That's right.
Okay, because they followed the ways of the heathen, all right, and followed their works, and so they were no longer considered the upright ones.
Mm-hmm.
So which means they were crooked. Now you're not upright, you're wicked now.
Right.
Okay, so now you're acting like a heathen, so I'm gonna call you heathens. All right, so that see how it all ties together, man, with the lesson that we did yesterday. Wasn't even expecting that. Okay, but the spirit is what it is. That's it. All right, so with that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash. And double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the Akim out there pushing the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash, Ba'atam. And with that, we want to say Shalom.
Shalom.